Hi, everybody, and welcome to our team call. It is Wednesday, January 10th, and I am so freaking pumped about this awesome guest speaker that we have. You guys might have had her kick your butt in a lot of workout programs that she's been in. Danielle, 6-time elite now, right? Freaking awesome. She has, one of the reasons why I'm really excited to have her is obviously I know you guys are super pumped right now. We have so many, like hundreds of people that are doing 80-day obsession, and I'm so excited. But Danielle, if you follow her on any social media platform, she keeps it really real. She's super straightforward. She has done so much for this network. She's been involved with the network for a really long time, reached so many accolades, CEO award, gotten all, I mean, literally you can give a little bit more of your backstory, Danielle, but she's also just a very straightforward, awesome person. So I'm super excited for you guys to get to hear from her tonight, to be on this call. We appreciate you being here. I'm just going to unmute you and let you just do your thing, girl. So thank you for being here with us.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. I am super honored. And yes, you are going to get a dose of just super straightforward, tough love for me. So I hope you'll give me permission to do that. It's the only way I know how to be. So I am going to give you a little bit of my backstory, because it's important for you to know where I came from, where I'm at right now, and where I'm headed in order for me to really share with you what I think will be a great message to get you started into an amazing 2018. Now, I know you already have amazing leadership, and so you are so fortunate to be on such a rock solid team. But I want to kind of tell you a bit about my background, because I have been a coach for a long time, which is I joined April 15th, 2010. I know the exact date because I was an elementary school teacher and we got paid once a month on the 15th of the month. And I was broker than a joke. So anything that was going to get paid was going to get paid on the 15th, because girl, by the 16th, we were out of funds. Okay. But if you've not been around for a while and maybe you don't follow me or you don't follow me closely, then you may just be like, oh, well, who's the annoying girl with the six-pack abs and the perfect looking husband? Of course she's successful. And the reality is no one likes that girl. I totally get it. So I need you to know where I came from, because I am no more special or talented than any one of you. Legitimately, we are the same. The only difference might be that I am consistent as, I don't see any kids. Well, are there kids? I'll just say F. Know that I really wanted to say the word. Okay, great. So I show up every single day, no matter what. I am consistent to a fault. I am going to tell you my accolades first, and it's going to seem like I'm being really boisterous, and I'm not. And I promise I have a purpose in sharing that with you. So I am a superstar diamond coach in my first business center. I'm an 8-star diamond coach in my second business center. I'm a 3-star diamond coach in my third business center. I'm a 2-star diamond coach in my fourth business center. And I'm a diamond in my fifth business center. I'm 85 consecutive months of SC10. I'm a 6-time elite coach. And this year we ended as the number 16 team. In 2012, I was a top 10 coach. In 2014, my personally sponsored coach, Lori Stewart, was in the top 10. And this year, my personally sponsored coach, Ashley Molstad, was the number 2 coach in the network. In 2016, I had the incredible honor of being named the CEO Award, which honestly is like my absolute favorite accolade that I have. I am in the Millions Club, and this is my 3rd year as a 7-figure annual income earner. Insert. All coaches have to work at their own independent level of awesomeness to receive whatever. Okay, so just, you have to make the lawyers happy. I am in Insanity, the Asylum Volume 2, which most of you probably haven't done unless you're like super hardcore. I'm the modifier in Insanity Max 30. And if you're an Insanity Live instructor, then you know me very well, because I am not only in every round that has come out, but I am the format expert, which means I create every workout that is taught by instructors worldwide. I'm a master trainer for not only Insanity, but Country Heat, as well as Size. And so I basically bleed Beachbody Blue. And I tell you all of that not to boast and not to brag. I tell you all of that because I started just like every one of you. When I started this, I was a 5th grade math teacher. I was in a different marriage, a very unhealthy, unhappy marriage. I had 2 small children, and I was up to my eyeballs in debt. And I don't just mean like good old-fashioned, regular American credit card debt. I mean the kind of debt where they call your work, they call your parents. When you open up your bank account, money is missing because they've just gone in and taken it. And I was taking out payday loans. By the time I stopped, I was at 9 payday loans. And if you don't know what those are, they're like 70% interest rate and you have like 1 week to pay them back. They should be illegal. I was drowning. I was miserable and unhappy, and I was pretending to be perfect when life was anything but. And there was definitely a point where all those amazing things that I just said right now, I thought only happened to like magical, mystical people with perfect hair and like the perfect teeth. Not me. Not this girl, not the girl who dropped out of college, right? I went back after I got pregnant out of wedlock with my youngest daughter, my now oldest daughter, who's now 16, which is crazy because I'm like 30, obviously. So I need you to understand that I started at ground level just like you. A lot of times you see someone at my level of success and you think, well, of course you're successful, Danielle. You've been on all those fitness videos. No. I want you to think about every fitness DVD you've ever watched of ours. How many of those coaches do you really know? Being in a fitness video doesn't make you successful. Most of those people do nothing with their business, if anything at all. Or I get this a lot. Well, Danielle, of course you're successful. You're super fit. Hi, guess what? I have to work harder. It is harder for me. I have been the same size since the day I joined till right now. It is harder for me to prove that our products work. Being fit actually works against me, not for me. Oh, well, Danielle, you have a really big social media following. I have 158,000 followers on Facebook and 123,000 followers on Instagram. And guess what? When I joined as a coach, I had no Instagram because it was like brand new, shocking. And I barely had a Facebook account. I only had a personal profile because we had just moved from Florida to Texas. And I wanted to keep up with my friends. And I was pretty upset MySpace was gone. So I didn't come into this with like some of you are like Googling, what's MySpace? So I didn't come into this with some kind of like massive following. So I need you to understand that anything that I've achieved, you can achieve too. I didn't come into this with a degree in Beachbody. My degree was in elementary education, fractions and coloring, you guys, okay? Like I didn't come into this with some master understanding of marketing and sales and fitness. I was a girl who needed a solution. That's what I needed. And here's what's interesting. Okay, so now I create all the insanity workouts and I'm technically a fitness expert and all these other things. You wanna know what's funny? I knew diddly squat about Beachbody when I joined. Let me tell you how I wound up coming to Beachbody in case you didn't know. Okay, so I was a teacher and we have the summers off, right? And I always kind of had a side hustler. I've always been a hustler. And so I always sling drinks. I always bartended or waited tables. But I was at a point in my life where I'm like, really, Danielle, is this what we're doing? Like you have 2 kids, you're an elementary school teacher, and then you're going to go sling drinks for the families of the kids you teach during the day. At night, we're not doing that. But I needed a secondary income because I could not make it paycheck to paycheck. And I was at an affluent school, so I was pretending because they all had all these things and I couldn't because here's the other thing. When you're like somewhat attractive and nice and peppy, people just assume your life is perfect. And so I let them, which was also exhausting. It was so exhausting. So I was like, all right, I need a secondary income. I don't want to sling drinks anymore. But here's the thing. I loved fitness. When I got pregnant at 22 and I had her, like 2 weeks later, I took my little ab wheel and I used to roll it out. And I used to do 50 little ab wheels every single day while I watched Lifetime TV. Do y'all know who Denise Austin is? Google her too, y'all. She is OG fitness videos, okay? It was free. It came on after Golden Girls and Designing Women, and I used to like breastfeed my kid, and then I would be like, whoop, whoop, and I'd be doing Denise Austin in my living room, okay? I loved fitness. And no matter how broke I was, I always figured out a way to have a gym membership. So when I was an elementary school teacher, I would pack my gym bag. I'd put the kids in the daycare. Somehow I had enough like inner fortitude to know I deserved that 1 hour after work to work out. And I loved that. I knew everybody at the gym. I was like a self-proclaimed gym rat. It was my safe space. It was the one place where I felt confident. So I was like, I used to look up at the group exercise room and be like, those girls look so fun and cute. I bet you they make so much money. Okay. So I didn't know that fitness instructors don't make anything and they just do it because they absolutely love people. But I didn't know. So I went down to my the manager at the gym, and I was like, hey, if I became a group fitness instructor, would you hire me? And he said, yeah, absolutely. And I'm like, cool. How do I do that? And he's like, well, have you ever heard of turbo kick? I'm like, no. And he's like, okay, do you like kickboxing? I'm like, not really. And he's like, all right. He was like, well, turbo kick, which you guys know, right? Turbo kick was the live version of Turbo Jam. Great. So he was like, this is a really popular class at our gym. If you get certified, I'll hire you as a sub. I promise you'll do well. I'm like, you're okay. So it was March and I had just gotten my tax return. That's when I like tax season. The more you grow your business, you'll hate tax season. But back then I was like, woo, it's tax time. How soon can I turn in my taxes? Now I'm like, oh my God, how many extensions are you allowed to take out? So anyway.
I'm literally dying. Sorry. Keep going.
You didn't know I was such a colorful speaker, huh? Okay. So anyway, so I'm like, all right, I'm going to take my tax return. I'm going to go take this turbo kick thing. And you guys, it was the best decision I ever made. Obviously, you can figure out why. It was at that training that I met the woman that introduced me to Beachbody. Her name is Jackie Woodfin. If you want to look her up, she's got this big blonde hair and this sweet blonde voice, or sweet Southern voice. And I'm going to do her accent because it just adds a little life to the story. Okay. So I walk in and I'm like, I wanted to be her immediately. You guys, she had a blinged out body bug. Do y'all remember what body bugs were? It was like the super big thing before Fitbits were in. If you're young, Google that too. Okay. And she had it blinged. She had it blinged, bedazzled. Okay. And her hair and makeup were perfect. And she was just tall. And I was like, she's fit. She looks happy. You know how you see someone and you're like, that woman has their shit together. I want to be her. That's what I felt like. And so at lunch, instead of sitting with all the other girls, I'm like, I'm going to go sit with her. So I sat with her and we started talking. And she was like, Danielle, she was like, have you ever heard of Beachbody? And I'm like, no. And she's like, okay, have you ever heard of Insanity? And I'm like, no. Oh my God, can you guys believe I never heard of Insanity? And so she's like, all right, have you ever heard of P90X? And I'm like, oh, you said it wrong. You mean PX90? Yeah, I've totally heard of that. Okay. I was clueless. I did not come into this having an understanding of our products and programs. Like most of you, I think it's amazing. When I get on new coach calls, every coach I sign, not a single one of them doesn't have a story already with Beachbody, right? They have a leg up. I had no idea who we were or what we did. But what I knew was this. She said, I just came back from Hawaii. That was the first Success Club trip she had ever gone on. And I had never traveled anywhere at that point, ever. Y'all, I had a baby at 22, right? And I was broke, so I'd never traveled. Hawaii sounded like the most magical, mystical place in all the land. I was like, you went to Hawaii? And then she was like, and I was in the Turbo Jam infomercial. I was like, oh my God, you were in a commercial? I'm pretty sure I was always meant to be famous. Anyway, so I was like, oh my gosh. So she was just speaking to my soul. And then she said this was the thing that forever changed my life. She said, Danielle, I make more doing this than I do anything else. And I think you would crush it. That was it. That was it, you guys. I think you would crush it. She looked me dead in the eyes. I knew nothing about the company. I had never done any of our workouts. All I knew is this woman who I thought was everything believed in me. Didn't know me, but believed in me. And why that's so pivotal to this story, you guys, is because you need to say that to somebody. You need to look at somebody in your challenge group or somebody in the eye and go, I think you would be amazing. It doesn't matter if you know all the right things to say about the coaching opportunity. It doesn't matter if you know all the ins and outs of 80-day obsession. But if you look somebody dead in the eye and go, I think you would crush this. That's it. So I went home that night and I told my now ex-husband, and I looked at him. I'm like, I did it. I did it. I solved all our financial problems. I am going to be a beach body coach. And he was like, what is that? I'm like, I have no fucking idea, but she is so pretty. And I just really believe her. So he was like, you can't do that. it's a pyramid scheme. You're not a salesperson. We're in debt. Well, I hated him. So I went into the office and I did the exact opposite. I took out her business card. I got on the computer and I was like, okay, I'm going to sign up and do this. I'm going to show you pyramid scheme. Let's see. So anyway, I get on the computer and I sign up for the 39. Hold on a second. Please hold. Oh, that was my daughter. I was going to tell her, excuse me, doing a team call. Teenagers have by the way, if you don't have a teenager yet, they have no understanding that the world does not revolve around them. Like, she can't understand what could mom possibly be doing other than answering my phone call. Okay, so anyway, I get on and I pay $39.95, right, for the coaching fee. And then it says, do you want to upgrade to Shakeology? Excuse me, do I need this Shakeology thing? Oh, yeah, girl, you need it. It's the number one way to build a business. You absolutely have to have it. And so back then excuse me. Hi, I'm on a team call right now, so can I call you back? Let me just show you. You're like interrupting. You're totally interrupting.
Wait, I can tell
I got to go by.
Gossip.
No, you can tell me gossip later. Love you, bye. So, right? Because the gossip. You guys, let's interrupt the team call for gossip, okay? So, okay.
You're so awesome.
Anyway, so you guys, Shakeology used to be $89.96 for the coach price back in the day when you had to walk up in the snow 7 hills barefoot to, sell a challenge pack. So anyway, I was like, you're sure I have to have this? Yeah, girl, you have to have it. I was like, okay. Now, you guys, I knew I did not have the money in my account. Okay, I knew it. I knew that I did not have this money, but she said I needed it. I believed in her. She said I was going to crush it. Okay, boom, I'm going to do it. So I just press it and I go. Literally 5 minutes after someone's not muted. Literally 5 minutes after I get off the phone or get off the computer, I realize I've made a huge mistake. Huge mistake. I'm going to bounce checks. I have checks that are out. I'm going to bounce checks. So I call her back up, Jackie, I've made a huge mistake. I'm like, if I cancel right now, will they give me back my money? And she's like, well, yes, they will. I don't know that it'll go back into your account today. And you really can't sign up underneath anyone else. I'm like, yo, that's not what this is about. I'm like, I'm literally having a panic attack realizing what I've done. So I submit my cancellation literally 5 minutes after I signed up. And they did give me my money back, but 3 days later, and yes, I did indeed bounce 3 checks. And I always say that I went into the negative to start this business, and it was the best decision I ever made. If somebody tells you that they cannot afford to be a coach, your answer to them needs to be, you can't afford not to be. Do you understand me? Like, if I had stayed doing the same things that I had been doing, I'd be in that same miserable spot. If someone tells you they can't afford to be a coach, you need to tell them they can't afford not to be. So, but I stopped. So you know how you never hear about something? I'd never heard about Beachbody. And then it's the only thing you hear about ever. Okay, well, that's what happened. So the next week I went to a PIO training, and there I met Melissa McAllister for the first time. And she has like everybody stand up in the room. Who's the Beachbody coach? And all these people stand up. I'm like, shit, all these people are Beachbody coaches. So anyway, I talked to Melissa, and she was like, you should be a coach, and I think you'd be amazing. I'm like, oh, I met this girl, Jackie, last week. And this shows the integrity of Melissa McAllister, who's one of my best friends and my success partner, and we work together constantly. And she has taken me on as if I were her own. She said, well, if you sign up again, you should do it under Jackie. And we always joke that she wished she hadn't have had integrity that day. But, you know, that's the reality. Jackie had talked to me first. And so Melissa honored that. But anyway, then the next thing, I was a teacher at school, and they knew I was into fitness. So people would ask me questions because I'd always have my magazines, you know, and I'd be eating my yogurt and my lean cuisines because that's what I thought, you know, fit people ate. And so a woman came who taught school across the hall from me, and she's like, hey, I'm interested in this new fitness program. I wonder if you ever heard of it. It's called TurboFire. And I literally like freaked out. I was like, oh my God. I was like, yes, I've heard of TurboFire. I was like, please, please, please don't buy it. I was like, I'm not a coach, but I think I'm going to sign up to be a coach. And if you like, you could be my first customer. Please, please, please don't buy it. So anyway, she didn't. She bought it for me. So I finally realized, okay, I'm going to do this. So like I told you, on April 15th, 1 month later, I became a coach for the first time. Okay, so you're like, Danielle, now get to the good part. You were just successful immediately, right? Wrong. Let me tell you where I went a little bit wrong, okay? And then I promised there's going to be like a really big point that matters to you in all of this. So I started the business and I'm like, I'm not working out from home. Are you nuts? I'm going to the gym. First of all, there's like cute guys at the gym, like total eye candy. Like I feel special there. I can get away from the kids. I can avoid my ex-husband for longer. You know, like I'm not doing a home workout. I'm not doing something called yoga booty ballet. I'm not doing that. Okay. So I did none of our workout programs. And then I'm like, I'm not drinking a shake. Fit people don't drink shakes. They eat their food. I already told you I brought lean cuisines to work. So I didn't drink Shakeology. And I'm like, okay, personal development. So I'm teaching elementary school and now I'm teaching group fitness and I'm teaching 14 classes a week because the only way to make money is to teach a bunch of classes, right? So I'm teaching school. I'm teaching 14 classes a week. I'm also now personal training before and after. Like I literally wake up at 4 and go to bed at midnight. And I have 2 small kids. And you want me to read books? You want me to read self-help books? I'm perfectly fine. I mean, sure, I'm in debt. I hate my husband. I hate my life. But I mean, I'm fine. I don't need self-help books. So let me tell you what happened. I was Emerald because I'm cute and fit and people like me. And I could get, and that's not even my family, you guys. I'm an only child. So it wasn't like I signed up my mom and, you know, like my sister or something. And my dad, who probably follows all of you and is like the most annoying person on social media, he like walks around with a giant foam finger that says, my daughter's number 1. His Instagram name is Fit and Funky Dad, you guys. Like, it's like the worst. He did not become a coach until I hit the Millionaires Club 4 years after I joined. And when I became a teacher, or when I gave up teaching to do coaching full time, he didn't speak to me for 2 weeks because he couldn't believe I would give up a good job with a good pension, right? So it wasn't that I signed up my family members. I just was able to convince people. But I got stuck at Emerald and I wasn't really making any money because here was my sales pitch. Okay, let's see. I see Laura here down on the bottom of my screen. So if Laura and I were chatting and she was like, oh, I need to, you know, to start a fitness program. I'm like, oh, okay, you should do P90X. And Laura would say, well, why? And I'd go, pull-ups, obviously. And Tony Horton. Yeah. Tony, yeah. That was it, you guys. I had no sales pitch because I had no connection to our products and programs. And if you ask me about Shakeology, I'm like, and back then you guys made chocolate and greenberry. Like, any of you greenberry likers? There's always like one of you weirdos in the group. I don't see anyone in my screen. Oh, I see her. I saw a greenberry hand. Woo. Y'all, back then the formulation was not right for the folks. Anyway, so I'm like, oh, you want Shakeology? Yes, it's got so many vitamins. That was it. That was my pitch. And so here was what happened. I joined this business, not because I needed to lose weight, but because I needed a secondary income. But I wasn't making a secondary income. By the time I paid my coach fee and paid for the Shakeology that I wasn't drinking, FYI, I found broken down boxes hidden in the back of my closet when I got divorced because I used to hide them because I didn't want anyone to know we were buying this shake and not drinking it originally. So I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to be making extra money, but I'm not. I'm busting my butt for $20 a class. By the time they take out taxes, that's not doing anything. Danielle, it's time to either shit or get off the pot. Like, you either make this work or you're going to have to go back to bartending, right? Like, that was where I was at in November. So I joined in April, and in November, I'm not making any money with this. I'm basically really frustrated, and I'm pretty close to the point, that crossroads where I'm going to have to quit. And then I went to a live event. If you are not getting your people to live events, you're missing an amazing opportunity. And if there are no live events near you, create one at your house and just invite people over. Because you guys, live events are what bring everybody together. They are what make people see that this is bigger than just a screen. This is great, but there's nothing quite like the feel and the touch of a live event. So I went to a live event. It was an hour away. That was a big deal for me. I'd still never traveled. Nobody knew who I was there. And I'm sitting in the stage, and they have people like traipsing across the stage sharing their success stories. So then this girl comes across the stage. She teaches, I teach at 9:30 in the morning on Saturdays at the gym. She teaches at 10:30, so I know who she is. traipses her little butt right across the stage, and she says, I joined April of 2010. I'm like, oh, me too. Fun. Huh. And then she's like, and I'm a diamond coach. I'm like, I'm an emerald coach, but whatevs. And then she says a statement that literally changed the game for me. And I pay my family's mortgage with what I make with this business. I'm in the negative every month. And then I had an epiphany. If she can do it, why can't I? If she can pay her family's mortgage, why not me? And I looked at all the people that went across that stage, and I realized they're all different. Not a single one of them is the same. Not a single one of them shared the same story. If all these people can do it, why not me? And so if you've never asked yourself that before, if you've ever thought, that's for somebody else, I can't reach that level of success, you need to have a long, hard look in the mirror and say, why not me? So that's what I did. So I turned around and I looked at this guy's name is Chris Reed. He's actually on the cab. And I said to him, mark my words, you don't know who I am, but this will be the last event I ever come to where that's the case. And I would also like you to know that 2 weeks from today, I will be a diamond coach. And I did. So April, I joined. I sucked at it until November. I become a diamond in December. And January of 2011 is the first month I ever hit Success Club. So I want you to understand that. The first 8 months of my business, I never hit Success Club. So if you're sitting there thinking, oh, well, I missed Success Club last month, or you're feeling really defeated, draw a line in the sand. Draw a line in the sand and decide that when you get off this call and you wake up tomorrow morning, you're going to earn all the Success Club points for January. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't even matter. So January 2011 was the first month I ever hit Success Club. I am now 85 consecutive months, never missing it, right? Because what do we tell you? Success Club is a push goal that sets all the other goals in motion. If you can't bring in at least 3 new people to your business every month, you don't have a business that's growing, right? So January of 2011 is the first month I ever hit Success Club. Are you ready for this? January 2012 was my first month as a full-time Beachbody coach. Let that sink in for a minute, okay? In 1 year, I was able, by consistently hitting Success Club and working this business and going at it full force and realizing why not me, I was able to quit my teaching job. Granted, it was a teaching job, but I was able to match my salary. Oh, and let me tell you this. My ex-husband did have a job. I was the only breadwinner in the family at that time. It was a big risk, but I was like, all right, I've matched my salary. If I matched my salary, if I could do this with no time, imagine what I could do if I did this full time. You guys, in that year, this is what I knew. If I worked harder than anybody else, if I gave up every little bit of freedom I had, I'm a big proponent on sleep, but I gave up sleep during that year. I gave up even really attention to my kids, but I said, mommy is doing this now so that she won't have to later. I knew that if I worked so hard in that 1 year's time, or however long it takes you, that hard work never goes unrewarded. I firmly believe that. Hard work never goes unrewarded. So I knew that if I worked my ass off for that entire year, that I could make something happen, and I did. So 2012 was my first month as a full-time Beachbody coach. You ready for this? I ended 2012 as the number 5 coach in the network. Let that sink in for a minute, right? So here's the thing, you guys. I tell you all of that. I told you where I started, and I took you through this journey of kind of, how I started and when I started to see some success, because I need you to understand I didn't have all the answers. Hell, all of you were ahead of me when you started, because I guarantee each and every one of you probably had done one of our workout programs before you ever clicked join. I had nothing. I had no passion for Beachbody. I had no connection to our program. But here, let me back it up a little bit. So when I made that decision, why not me? I realized what I was doing wrong. I wasn't doing our vital behaviors. Back then it was called the game plan. Now it's called our vital behaviors. Same thing, different name. I realized, okay, every one of those people that came across the stage, they did one of our workout programs. So I'm like, all right, let me look in our catalog. Wasn't a lot to choose from. But I'm like, all right, this insanity guy, he claims it's the hardest workout ever put on DVD. All right, I'll give it a go. You guys, can you imagine if I never picked up my first copy of Insanity? I met my best friend. I met my husband through that program. It is the program that changed my life. I went from fit to fitter. I got asked to be in the Insanity infomercial. On the set of that Insanity infomercial, I met my best friend, Sean T, and I met for the very first time the man who would eventually become my husband. Truly an Insanity love story. So much so that Sean T became an online minister and married Darren and I officially on the sands of Hawaii, that magical, mystical place I thought I would never travel to. But anyway, in that journey of fit to fitter, people started to see, oh, if it works for her, it can work for me. And I started to drink that stupid shake, that stupid shake that I guess, I'm paying for, I may as well drink. And here I am, I'll say 7 years later, because I didn't really drink it the first year, I've never missed a day. Never missed a day. Everybody drinks it. If I like you, you drink it. The only people who don't drink it are the people I don't like. If I don't like you, you ain't drinking it. You know what I'm saying? No Shakeology for you. So I was like, okay, but here's the key. Personal development. In my mind, right, I was like, I'm not nuts. I don't cut up Barbie heads and put them in shoe boxes under my bed, so I don't need self-help books. But the reality was I did. I needed it more than anybody else. And a lot of you and a lot of your coaches and challengers, right? What do they really need when they come onto the team? They need belief. They need someone to tell them that they can do it. They need personal development more than they need anything else. Even the person who joins who has 100 pounds to lose. They need personal development more than anyone else. They didn't gain 100 pounds because they were addicted to Oreos. They gained 100 pounds because there was something deep-seated inside of them, some kind of misbelief, some kind of limiting behavior that they needed to get rid of. So I picked up my first copy of Self-Development, and I picked up The Slight Edge, very similar to The Compound Effect. So if you've read The Compound Effect, you don't really need to read The Slight Edge. The same idea, that the same little behaviors day in and day out over time compound into something big. So guess what? The same things that I did then to start to build my business are the same things I do now. I wake up, I drink the shake, I do my workout, I read or listen to personal development, and I talk to people both in person and online, and I repeat. And that is the same thing I have been doing since 2011 when I made the decision and I drew that line in the sand and I said, why not me? That's still how I run my business today. 6-time elite, this huge team. I had 7 personally sponsored elite coaches this year. Same thing I do. Nothing happens until I press play on that workout, until I drink that shake, till I have my unicorn crack, whatever you want to call energize, right? Until I get some personal development in my ears or on my eyes. And I've got to talk to real live humans, both in person and on social media, and I have to connect. I do not have the fanciest trainings, you guys. I do not. I just got a website a year ago, and that's only because my husband really wanted me to have one. I don't make the fanciest graphics. Matter of fact, and if you're a fancy graphic person, don't take offense to this. Fancy graphics make me want to punch you in the face. So we're part of this group called the Round Table, which is for 5-star diamonds and above. And that's every leader in there's love language. It's ooh, I made you guys a graphic. It makes me want to legit punch you in the throat. I'm I don't have time for that. I'm not interested in that. And so I need you to understand, that's your jam, good for you. But it doesn't have to be. That doesn't make you a great leader. That doesn't build a strong business. What builds a strong business is pressing play on your workout every single day until the end of time. The people who slack in this business, or the people who had a level of success and all of a sudden you're where the hell did they go? You know where they went? Somewhere else, because they're no longer showing that they're proof the products work. And I'm not saying you can't be a runner, and I'm not saying you can't do yoga or CrossFit, but the reality is if you are not showing every single day that here you go, here's a system, press play on this workout, follow this meal plan, drink this shake, do it in between the cat and the couch. If you can't show that, if you can't model that, you are never going to have a business that grows, and nothing else matters. No YouTube training that you watch, no book that you read, nothing. It starts and ends by pressing play on one of our workouts until the day you die, legitimately. And here's the thing, it's interesting because, so many people are oh my gosh, what's your training like? Or, how do you do this? And how do you help me with that? You guys, this is what I tell every new coach on my team. Your number one job and responsibility right now is to work on you. Your job and responsibility right now is to make you the absolute best version of you possible. You need some kind of transformation, physical, financial, emotional, all of them, whatever. because transformations aren't just physical. While that side-by-side shot of the girl who lost 50 pounds is amazing, I don't have that kind of transformation. I have legitimately looked the same my whole life, which, by the way, is extremely hard. But that's a whole nother call. So, but what I do have is I know that the girl who joined Beachbody is very different than the woman who is in Beachbody right now. I know that for sure. And while my financial transformation has been amazing, what I also will say is this: that's not the best transformation. The best transformation is the person I have become and am continuing to grow into. So what I need you to understand is that you have everything in your power right now to crush this. You have everything that you need to be as successful or more successful than I am. Matter of fact, I dare you. I want you to be. Blow me out of the water. I tell all my coaches that. I'm like, Ashley is number 2, amazing. That is so great. Like the best success is when your coach can outshine you. Outshine me, baby. Do it, girl. Do it. You guys all have that inside of you right now. And it doesn't require you to have a website. You don't need to have a fancy office. You don't have to have the best tracking system. What you have to do is wake up every single day, drink your shake, do your workout, read a book, talk to people, and repeat. If you do that every single day, no matter what, because here's the deal, you guys, people need to know that you're not going anywhere. The reason consistency is key in this business is because people need to know, did it work for you? Will it work for them? And will you be by their side to help guide them through it? You want to know what's funny? I love when someone says to me, well, I just don't really work the business because I just want to help people. I call bullshit on that. Let me tell you why. Who helps more people? The person who decides not to build a big business because they just want to help people, or me? The bigger your business, the more people you help. You truly want to be a life changer, build a big ass business. And how you do that is by making you the best version of you possible. Literally, your job description is to work on you. Your job description is to be healthier. Your job description is to be around longer for your kids, for your spouse. Your job description is to have financial freedom, to reduce stress from your life. That's your job description. Are you freaking kidding me? Are you kidding me? Your job is to be the best you possible. So here's what I need you to understand. Let me say it one more time. I am no more special or talented than you. I did not come into this with some kind of magical Beachbody unicorn dust. If you want to be successful, you can be. What you're going to do is you're going to draw a line in the sand. You are going to wake up tomorrow morning. You are going to drink your shake, do your workout, read or listen to personal development, talk to people both in person and online, and you are going to repeat that until the end of time. Because guess what, you guys? Following a program from start to finish has so much more to do with your consistency and skill transfer into other areas of your life than it does with completing a program. If you can tell me, if you can finish 80 days of 80-day obsession, right? I assume you guys are all getting ready to start 80-day obsession. You want to know what's cool? Who cares? Yeah, okay, your butt's going to lift. Awesome. Maybe your waist is going to go in. That's great. Maybe you're going to get the abs you want. Awesome. None of that matters. If you can consistently stick with a program for 80 days, you know what else you can do? You can stick with your business for 80 days. You could wake up and make your bed for 80 days. You could be nicer to your children for 80 days. You could make healthy food for 80 days. You could do your invites for 80 days. You could go for no for 80 days. Do you understand? Doing a program from start to finish has very little to do with the workout and has everything to do with how you operate this business. You have everything you need. And in addition, you're lucky enough to be on a team that cares about you. What? Do you know how many people don't have that? You know how many messages I get? I'm sure you guys all do too, who are stuck like Chuck. They're on a team that nobody does anything. You are blessed to have the leadership and the community that you do. So tap into it. You are going to wake up tomorrow morning different because of this call. You're going to wake up tomorrow morning. You're going to draw that line in the sand. You're going to look yourself dead in the mirror, uncomfortably so, every wrinkle and all. And you are going to say, why not me? You are going to put your head down. You are not going to look left and right, because guess what? When you look left and right, you get off the beaten path. Who cares if somebody else ranked advanced before you? I wasn't the fastest person to get to 15-star diamond. So what? I got there. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. This is your business. This is your race. Don't look left and right. So what if somebody lost more weight than you? So what if somebody else's post on social media did a little bit better than you? And here's another little tip. It doesn't matter the quantity of followers you have. It matters the quality of followers you have. Every time I lose a follower, I'm like, bye, Felicia, don't need you here anyway. I want my tribe. I want the people who want to hear what I have to say following me. I want my ride or die people. I don't care about the number. Tomorrow morning, you wake up different. You wake up different. I want you to do it. And I want you to message me, or I want you to tell everybody on your team that you stared yourself in the mirror, looked at every little wrinkle, every little bald spot, every little imperfection, and you said, why not me? Why can't I walk across that stage and get the recognition I deserve? Why can't I end the year as a 5-star diamond elite? Let me tell you about my girl, Ashton. Girl Ashton is one of my personally sponsored elite coaches this year. Wound up 100 in the network, first time to ever hit elite. She started the year as a 1-star diamond, ended as a 5-star diamond elite. Oh, and let me tell you something else. She had her 4th kid this year. All of her kids are under the age of 8. Oh, and did I also tell you she lives in a town of 200 with no stoplight? But you know what she thought? Why not me? Did she do anything super sexy? Did she get someone to build her a website? No. You know what she did? She did the same unsexy behavior every single day. This business isn't glamorous. That's why I get to have on the same sweatshirt 8 days in a row with sweaty hair on top of my head. This business isn't glamorous. It's doing the same monotonous things day in and day out. You do your workout, you drink your shake, you read and listen to personal development, you talk to people both in person and online, and you repeat, and you do it again and again and again and again and again until you are so freaking consistent that everybody is like, yo, oh my gosh, that Chrissy, I love following her. I know she's going to show up every single day, no matter what. I can trust her. I could probably sell right now a giant bag of dog poop online if I wanted to. I could be like, listen, ladies, if you smear this dog poop all over your face, you will have the most refreshing and glowing skin ever. And people would buy it from me. Want to know why? They trust me. I have built up that trust and relationship with them because I show up for them every day. Now, obviously, I would not do that. But that's what you need to do. You have got to show up every single day so that these people know that you are there for them, that they're not just going to buy something off the internet from some crazy lady they saw on Instagram and then they disappear. So, can you do that? Can you wake up tomorrow? Can you draw that line in the sand? And can you say, why not me? And again, you're like, well, Danielle, where are the practical things that I need to take away? Those are the practical things. Do your freaking workout. You don't get to decide. You don't get to dabble. You don't go, today I want to do insane abs, and tomorrow I want to do hammer and chisel, and the day after that I want to do 21-day fix. Because guess what? The person watching you on the other side of social media, that's like sending them into the gym and going, go ahead, use all the machines. They need to see you following a plan, a calendar, a system, right? And guess what? You need to drink your shake. Oh, and let me tell you this. Do not, and if you did this before, I forgive you. You didn't know. To your Shakeology on Instagram, you don't love it that much. You don't love it enough to kiss it in a selfie. Let me tell you the difference between your Instagram feed and your Insta stories, or your Facebook feed and going Facebook Live. Your main feed on Instagram or Facebook should be very curiosity marketing. Where you get to be blatant is an Instagram story. So every morning you'll see me shake my Energize. Every day you'll see me drink my shake. I'll call it Shakeology. You'll see me push play on my workouts. Instagram stories and Facebook Live, I'm very blatant because it's a look into the day of my life. But on my main feed, it's more curiosity marketing. That's a little extra fun tip for you right there, okay? But here's the thing. You've got to drink that shake every single day. And you have got to do personal development. And that means, oh yeah, so I've been reading The Compound Effect for like a month. Then guess what? You've not been reading it. If it takes you a month to read a book, put it down. I give you permission to start a book, don't like it, and close it. Because guess what? We don't all like the same books. I don't find you are a badass all that life-changing. I'm like, why the heck do people like this book so much? Everybody's different. That's why it's called personal development, because it's what you personally need. Right? It's not Danielle's development for you. It's what do you need in your life at that given moment. Oh, and another tip. Personal development isn't just books about how to make you feel better and have belief. It's also skill development. You should be reading things about social media. You should be reading things about leadership and building a business. And you know what else it is? It's also health development and knowledge development. You are a health and fitness coach. And while you do not need to be an expert, you should be well versed in fitness and nutrition. So you should also be trying to understand the ailments and the problems and the things that your challengers are coming to you with. And also, what's personal development is a national wake-up call. Nothing irks me more than when a coach was like, I'm just like really not seeing success. And I'm like, oh, but you listen to the national wake-up call each week. Well, like, no. What? Like that is also like clocking in to your job. If you are not listening to the national wake-up call, and if you're new, on your podcast, you need to start listening in reverse. Like go all the way back to like 2011. 2010, 2009. Like just keep listening until you have run out of calls to listen to, And then the last piece, to talk to people both in person and online. While 95% of my business now is social media, it wasn't in the beginning. You should be a resource in your community. By the time I left that elementary school, every person from the principal to the janitor was either my customer or my coach. Every single person. Like, why are the people you work with not your customer or your coaches? If you're a mom, like literally, so at my kids' volleyball club, I'm like, hello, we're all doing, I call it fuel your athlete. Like, okay, so we're at these tournaments all day. So now like it's daily sunshine in their backpacks. It's energized before their workouts. It's hydrate instead of Powerade. You know what I'm saying? Like you have real live humans in front of you that you should be talking to. You're just too afraid because it's so much easier to make a post on social media and walk away. But you have real live humans in your life that need your help. You should be the obnoxious Beachbody person in your community and in your town. And here's another thing. There are real live humans on the other end of this. So when you're in Target and at the checkout line, do the girl a favor and have a little respect and put your phone down and ask her how her day is and start a conversation with her. Because I cannot tell you how many service people have become my customer. Darren took a lift to the airport the other day. By the end of the thing, he had her convinced she needed to be a Beachbody coach. And so, of course, I messaged her and we talked. There are real live humans that you come into contact with every single day, but you won't know it if you're so glued to your phone that you don't stop for a moment and look somebody in the eye and say hello. So your practical takeaways from this call is that it can be you. You can be successful. You do have everything that you need to rock this business. And the only things that you have to do are those 4 vital behaviors. Literally, if you did nothing else, you would have the most successful business there is. All right, so I am officially done. I don't know if your call normally goes an hour. If it does, you've got me. You are more than welcome to ask me questions. If you're like, we're kind of over you, you guys can also go to bed, and that's fine too. Just let me know.
Danielle, holy shit. You are so funny. I literally peed a little bit. I had no idea how funny you are. You're amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you for all of this. So much good content. Like, I don't know if you watched the chat at all, but people were like, I ran out of mics to drop. That was a commentary. Yeah. So thank you so much for being with us tonight. Obviously, I'll get this recording posted right away. We appreciate you. Thank you for what you do in the network, just for who you are and how you lead. It's appreciated. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah, I bleed Beachbody Blue. I mean, this business has forever changed me and it's forever changed my family. And, I take this, I said this at Leadership a couple of years ago. I was a closing speaker and I said that this is our company. Carl may be the CEO, but this is our company collectively. And that's why even last year, Christina Delgado with the We Are Team, hashtag We Are Team Beachbody or I Am Team Beachbody. This is our company. And so I want you to love it as much as I do. And if you don't love it as much as I do, I have to wonder why. And, I really want you to think about that. And, those are the kind of people you want to bring into your business, are the people who love this so much that when they, if you were to prick me, I bleed blue. When I sweat, blue puddles of Beachbody, belief sweat drip off of me. And I hope it does off of you too, because this isn't just Carl's company. This is your company. This is our company collectively. And so lead like that, lead your teams like that. I think that, the reason why my team has been successful is, again, not because I taught them anything special. It's just that I believe in it so much that they had no choice. but to believe in it just as much as I did. So if you want your team to be as fired up as you, believe in it so much that they have no choice but to believe it that much too. So
thank you. Like, yes. I fucking love you. You're awesome. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Everyone, I'll get the recording posted. Thank you, Danielle. Thank you all for being on live tonight. And I will talk to you all soon.
Bye.
Bye, guys.